are some of the players that I found to be most intriguing in this class. This class presents a great opportunity for the Athletics to have a nice draft from top to bottom. Now it's on you to make the right picks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oakland Athletics franchise here on Second Level Sports. We are in part 2 of our video today, so we are going to get our draft done. So as Clay, our draft analyst, laid out a little bit in part 1, we do have several guys that we're going to end up going for. We don't necessarily have a big need at any particular position, and we don't have a position that's completely stacked. So a lot of what we're going to need to do in the draft and in free agency is just add to. The Oakland Athletics are not a very deep team, so we're just adding as much talent as we possibly can at any position at all. So at the top of the board here in the draft, it looks like we're gonna have people like Corey Ham. Corey Ham is a very popular pick. Keith Gilchrist is at the top of the list. Ken Beatty, Steven Acevedo, Andreas Cedeno. There's several guys right here at the top of the list that are going to be very, very good prospects, but it all depends on who falls to us at number 6. We've got 2 first-round picks and then a pick in every other round, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. So let's just see who we get right here. Alrighty, it is the start of our very first draft. Let's see who the Pirates take at the top of the draft. Here we go with our first pick. That is... who is that? Ernest Asensio. That is a guy that we were not even looking at. He is our 7th ranked prospect and number 5 overall, but the Pirates take him at 1. Let's see if that was a good decision. I believe the Nationals are not next. They are going to take Keith Gilchrist. Now that was a very good outfielder prospect. He is 8th on our board, 7th overall. He went number 2. Let's see who goes number 3 here. Don't remember whose pick this is. Okay, Detroit Tigers get Alden Lalich, who was near the top of our board and is number 3 overall. So he got taken at exactly the right spot. The Texas Rangers are going to take somebody here, and they take Corey Ham. He was going to be our pick at number 6. That's the thing with the MLB Draft, is they're not going to let you move any. But Corey Ham takes our spot right there. Dan Grantham goes number 5. And here we go with our pick. So we already know at the top we're not going to take any relievers, even though there looks like there's going to be some good relievers here. Osuna is here. Andreas Cedeno has some interest in us. This might be our pick right here. Ken Beatty is right here, but we've actually fully scouted Andreas Cedeno. We're getting him before he fully commits to playing more at the University of Miami. He is a 4-year junior, so he could technically play 1 more year, but I think we take him here. There's Brandon Maynard. There's a couple guys in here that I think would be good takes. Lamont Newell's sitting there. Center fielders, Keith Gilchrist was the best one. Andreas Cedeno, I think, is our pick here. Here at number 6, it's going to be Andreas Cedeno. And there we go. Our first arm added to the A's is going to be Andreas Cedeno. Good pick there. He was number 11 on our board, 6th on the MLB board. He's got good stats. If you want to refer to part 1 of our video where Clay actually goes over a couple of these stats, be my guest. This is a part 2, but Andreas Cedeno is going to be our first pick. I like it. All right, the Reds are going to go next here. They are going to take Osuna, who was that other pitcher we were looking at. Clay actually ended up liking Cedeno more. I think I do too. Osuna, he's got some things. The Royals take Antonio Zamora. I don't think we looked at him any. There's a couple guys at the top of this board that we didn't look at all. Robert Kincaid to the Rockies at 9. He should be a solid pick for them. Brandon Maynard to the Angels at 11. That was that center fielder that we were looking at. Solomon Road to the Arizona Diamondbacks at 12. He was a pitcher that Clay had on his top 10 prospects. Ken Beatty goes to the Cubs. He's going to be a good pitcher as well. Let's see who the Red Sox take here. They're going to take Amari Campaneris. He was near the top of our board in several categories as well. The White Sox are going to take Aaron Sexton. We did a draft profile on him. He looked like a good pitcher, but he's a little younger. He's on the younger side. The Giants take Alvaro Prado, the second base prospect that we also did an overall draft ranking on. Yoenis Whitey, I don't remember seeing it all. That must be a just random player. I don't remember seeing him at all. The Brewers right here are going to take Kenny Leavitt. I don't remember seeing him either. The Rays are going to take Art Sexton. There's two Sextons, not related, mind you. The Blue Jays are going to take Carlos Olivo. I remember seeing him in there. He's an infielder prospect, I think. The St. Louis Cardinals are going to take Gil Vargas right here. I remember seeing him a few times in the scouting process. Darren Roussan is going to the Mariners. Let's see who the Guardians take right here. They're going to take Stan Uribe, that relief pitcher. That was ranked number 2 actually on both of our boards. So Stan Uribe, ranked number 2 overall, goes 23. I guess that shows you the value of relief pitchers in this game. Chris Trejo goes to the Braves. Pulido to the Padres. Jose Pulido to the Padres. A couple of these guys in the first round, I guess we just didn't scout because we weren't even going to have a chance. They were for sure first round picks. But I like our first round pick. I like that we got Cedeno there at 6. He looks to be a good pitcher. Charles Virgil is going to go to the Yankees. TJ Godfrey to the Phillies. The Astros are going to take their first round pick right here. They are going to take Angel Salazar. The Mets are up next. They are going to take Brian Bake. Okay, he's a name I don't remember seeing. Brian Bake is there. And the Dodgers, we'll go back here. Dodgers are going to take Thomas Bouchang. He was a pitching prospect that we were looking at, I believe. And here's our round A competitive balance. Carmen Yerman is going to the Mariners. The Mariners, Rays, Brewers, Twins, Marlins, Tigers, Reds, and us are going to get picks here in the round A. Frank Hernandez is going to the Rays. Let's see what we got here for the Brewers. They're going to take Ryan Eldridge. A couple of these guys I've not seen. Carmen Yerman I've seen, but a couple of these others, Hernandez, Eldridge, I've never seen before. The Twins are going to take Jorge Duarte. You're going to take him at 34. Who the Marlins going to take here for competitive balance? They're going to take Alfredo Rodriguez. So what I'm hoping for with our pick, I think we need to bolster arms still. There's good arms at the top of the draft. I think we take somebody like Steven Acevedo, unless the Reds take him right here. Xavier Naidoo goes to the Tigers. He was a guy that we did some stuff on. Damian Flores goes to the Reds, so we can take Acevedo here. He's got 49% interest. Ken Bell is also sitting there. I think this is Acevedo. I think he's our best There's only one closing pitcher left. Jeez Louise. Fuentes. There's Andre Doe right there, but we've got good catching prospects for the most part. There was no good first baseman that we saw throughout the whole thing. Second base, Xavier Hayes sitting there. We did a draft prospect analysis on him. John Gonzalez, I think, might be our next pick. We might take him here. He's going to be good. From Rutgers. Trey Martin is there. Luke Gonzalez. Enrique Vizcaino. I think this is still Steven Acevedo or Ken Bell. I'd take a starting pitcher here. Just making sure there isn't anybody. There's a few in here that I've already grabbed. Carlos Aquino would be good. Juan Bonilla. Julian Mata. Ken Bell's here. I think this is Steven Acevedo. He was given a very good grade by Clay in our draft analysis, so I think this ends up being Acevedo. Yeah, Steven Acevedo. I'm happy with that pick. So we got two big arms in round one and the round one compensatory draft. Round two, we're about to take somebody right away here after the Nationals pick, Alfonso Chavez. I think our biggest scouting report on us, we're looking at outfielders a little bit. I think our biggest one, there's also Larry Karnitz. He got a very favorable grade. This might be Karnitz. Karnitz we definitely need to get. Karnitz is ranked on our board and not ranked at all on the MLB board. So it's basically pretty much just us getting on board with Karnitz. But this might be John Gonzalez. He is our highest scouted person. We're gonna go John Gonzalez. We're gonna go John Gonzalez right here. I don't think that's any shock. It's very funny. A couple of these guys are from places like Venezuela and just outside of America places. But I guess with the auto-generated rookie drafts, they just give them regular American names. It's very funny. There's also a Brian Chu and a Brian Cho in the same draft. Here's our pickup next. I think this is Larry Karnitz. We were looking around the 3-4 range to get Larry Karnitz here. This is Larry Karnitz. That's the easiest pick I've made all day. So we've got three big arms and hopefully a really good bat so far in our draft. Got Karnitz, who we just took. We've got Cedeno, we've got Acevedo, and we've got John Gonzalez. I think that's a solid draft so far. I've picked exactly who I need to. Carlos Aquino goes to the Reds. I think he was going to be a good prospect. He might have needed some more years in high school to keep it moving, but he was a guy that we talked about a little bit in Clay's analysis video. There's several guys in here that I remember seeing, but we didn't scout at all. So that's good. We're getting only scouted players. We have a very solid draft right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we come out with one of the top classes in the draft. So far, I've gotten exactly who I've wanted for the team. Now let's see. Lewis McClendon goes to the Nationals. Pick 107 is going to be interesting because I don't think we have anything near the top of the board right now. We have Johnny Martin, but we've taken 3 solid pitchers already. There's no good catchers left. The first basemen are all gone, but I wasn't impressed with the first baseman at all. No, there they are. Here they are. Okay. I was looking at closers. Closers are a dime a dozen, I guess. Xavier Hay is right there. He's somebody we looked at. We take Xavier Hay right here? Maybe. I think he's somebody we could actually wait on, in all honesty. Jeff Phelps has okay stats. He has 72% interest. Do we go Phelps here? He wasn't somebody we've looked at extensively. he's rated less than he is on the MLB board, on our board. Trey Martin is ranked higher on our board than the MLB board. He could be somebody. He'd be a good guy to get for shortstop. We have some people that shift positions pretty often at shortstop, so we have to shuffle that around. There's not a ton of good outfielders. We may have picked the best one with John Gonzalez. I think Heath Gilchrist will ultimately be the best one, but John Gonzalez was taken by us. I think he was the second best. JJ Nix is there. He's somebody I looked at. I think Trey Martin. I think we go Trey Martin here. I think that's where we need to go, is Trey Martin. And then probably get somebody that we talked about, like Xavier Hay, in a later round. Because Trey Martin is somebody we know nothing about. He is just simply ranked higher on our board than the MLB board. So Trey Martin's our first big guess at pick 107. I am more than fine with that. And there goes Jeff Phelps right there at 110. He was that other pitcher we were looking at for our pick at 107. A Luis Castillo doppelganger goes into the Rangers at number 112. There's a few guys in here that I just saw for the first time just now when I was poking around looking for Trey Martin. Let's just see if Xavier Hay can make it all the way to us. But do we take Xavier Hay with this pick? I think we do. Yeah, there's no checking we need to do here. I think this is going to be Xavier Hay, but I'm just going to look just for fun. Just for fun. Xavier Hay. He's the guy. We had a little bit of scouting done on him. I think he's going to be our pick here. Welcome to the team, sir. We do have to sign all these guys. That's going to be a whole other thing, and I may do that off video. Okay, we do have one more pick. It's going to be at the top of the 6th round, so we have a few more picks to go here, and I don't know if I have any idea who I want to take here, because we are getting down to the guys that are just not going to be available. Nationals get Ricky Sandoval, and here's our very last pick. Johnny Martin is here. He's a starting, yeah. We take Johnny Martin here. Well, he's the last starting pitcher. I don't see why we don't pick him. We don't need relief help. We've got good relievers, and we're gonna fill out our prospects here in free agency, I think is what the plan is. And here is a look at our guys. We've got Cedeno. He is an 86 potential, it looked like. He's going to start at a 64. He's 21 with B potential. All our guys have really good potential. They're really solid. Acevedo's 20 with a B potential. Gonzalez has A potential. He's starting at 60, but that he could go up majorly. John Gonzalez ended up being a very good pick for us. Larry Karnitz also ended up being good. He's going to start at a 60 overall, but he is 18. Yeah, and this is actually the screen. We signed all of these guys. That's what all this means. Trey Martin ended up being a good pick. Xavier Hay was probably our only whiff, but that's honestly okay. That's honestly okay. We scouted him. He's got good stats for the most part. And that is our athletics draft. Now let's go ahead and look at our free agency pickups. So at least with this free agency, it's a bit interesting. We do have a bit of a depth problem overall on this team. We have good starters at various positions, but they're kind of stacked up on top of each other. So what we need to do was spread out and fill out our prospect pool even more. We started with a very good draft, and we still have all those guys. We ended up signing them all, but we needed to make some moves in free agency, especially with there not being a ton of infield position players that we were going to bring in. So we actually split this up into two sections. I did this first part probably before the All-Star break and kind of before the trade deadline, and then we had a second section that we just fixed up all of our prospects and all that right at the trade deadline. So to start, we had several prospects that we brought in this first little section. We brought in Tristan Gray, who was a shortstop. We brought him in from Tampa Bay, I believe. We traded him for Domingo Acevedo and Drew Westinski, who both of them were relief pitchers. We are pretty full up at relief pitcher, so getting rid of those guys and getting a shortstop prospect, even though he is older, was probably a good thing at the start of that. Jaime Barria was another relief pitcher we took. Just trading away relief pitchers and extra infielders for some of these guys. But we got Jaime Barria, Eli Morgan, Jake McCarthy, and Yanni Hernandez. Just trading away some of our prospects that weren't going to do anything for the team. We needed a first baseman badly. Jordan Diaz has not been cutting it this whole year. So we actually went and got a starting first baseman. We went and got Jared Walsh, traded our guy that we got at the start of the year to be our DH, Matt Blackman, traded him to the Angels for Jared Walsh. Paul Blackburn was having his worst season on record. Hunter Renfroe was having a terrible year, and Domingo Soto was not going to get anywhere in our starting pitching ranks, even though he was 19. So we sent all of those guys to the Mariners, who had two outfielders for us. They had Jonathan Clase and Teoscar Hernandez, who is actually on a 1-year deal. He's got 1 year left on his deal, so that may be somebody who we consider bringing back, but we do have Hernandez for the stretch run. I don't think we're in any position to make the playoffs, but to have top tier talent on the team, especially with the amount of cap space that we do have, is essential. But we got both of them. And then another poll that we got from the Nationals, we sent the Nationals Eric Haase, who was our backup catcher, to Soderstrom and Langoliers, so we didn't need him. We sent Haase, we sent third baseman Kevin Smith, and we sent relief pitcher Jeremy Eierman to the Nationals for CJ Abrams, who will actually help fill out our infield a little bit better. But it also created a bit of a dilemma for us because Ramon Urias has actually been playing very well at shortstop, and we brought in another shortstop. So we spread them back out. We actually moved Urias to second base, Geloff to third base, and we're going to let CJ Abrams play at shortstop for this stretch run and leave Jared Walsh at first. We need prospects badly. We have virtually no depth in several of our infield positions and not really any good starting pitching depth as far as guys that we can look at for future starting positions. So some of the prospects that we did go out and get were players like Xavier Isaac, who we also got JJ Bleday back because we ended up trading him away to the Rays, but we had actually ended up bringing him back. We did send the Rays our closing pitcher, Zach Jackson, who had been doing all right, and third baseman Colton Welker. But Xavier Isaac and JJ Bleday are two prospects that are going to be very difficult to pass up. So we brought them in, and hopefully Xavier Isaac could turn into our first baseman of the future, because I don't see Jared Walsh or Jordan Diaz staying on this team for long term. Because we got rid of Eric Haase, we needed a new backup catcher. So we traded for Victor Caratini from the Milwaukee Brewers in exchange for Freddie Tarnok, Kirby Snead, and Cooper Bowman. Just a bunch of backup prospects that weren't going to be doing anything as we were bringing in new prospects at the same time. We got second baseman Nick York, who I did mention in the last video was one of our AL Rising Star players in there with Corey Perry, Ben Joyce, and Tom Prado. We brought Nick York over in exchange for Kyle Muller, Jaime Barria, who we did just get, and Reese Neer. So more relief pitchers, just shoving them out the door. And our biggest prospect get that we actually ended up getting was we actually fleeced the Nationals again. We brought in James Wood from the Nationals in exchange for shortstop Nick Allen, Yoequi Cespedes, and Joey Estes. He is going to probably be our biggest prospect going into next year, and he fills in a nice position at center field that we pretty desperately need. And the Nationals did just get Heath Gilchrist. Come to find out, he's the best player in that draft class that we just did and could start today for them. So they basically just got Wood and Abrams back. So it was no sweat off of the Nationals to give us our best prospect now in James Wood. We also ended up trading away some of our other relief pitchers that we got at the start of the year that weren't doing so hot. We got rid of Brian Baker and Darwinzon Hernandez for more prospects. We got Dylan Lesko. Henry Mendez ended up coming over here as well for Tom Prado, who actually made an all-star team for us in that junior level. We ended up trading for a prospect starting pitcher as well in Walter Ford. For relief pitchers, we had an awful lot of buzz around Luis Medina, so we actually ended up trading him for some more infielder prospect help in DJ Gladney and starting pitcher Andrew Dahlquist. We traded our new all-star, Shea Langoliers, one of our better relief pitchers in Tristan Beck, and our entire batting offense, Brent Rooker, away to the St. Louis Cardinals for Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker, I think, is a very good prospect. He hits for power often, and he is very good. I think he's going to be able to fill out our team a little bit better. And when I did play with Tyler Soderstrom, that does leave catcher as a bit of an iffy spot with Langoliers, who was our only all-star, leaving the team. It does leave Soderstrom in a bit of a weird spot, but when I did play with him, he played good, even great, and even better than Langoliers at points. I think he has a better batting average than he does, and I think that is a good move for the team. We get younger and also get a powerhouse at one of our outfield positions. As far as signings go, we ended up signing Corey Perry, who made that AL Junior All-Stars team. We also ended up signing several players that were auto-generated that were just left over from some other teams. There's always guys like that from leftovers from teams and free agency. But we did bring in 2 guys from free agency that were going to fill some relief and closing roles. We brought Trevor Rosenthal in, and we brought in Dylan Floro just to fill out some more space in our roster. So at this point, probably in our next video, we're actually going to get to play with this team. We moved some pieces around, we moved some players around, and we're gonna play with this brand new team for the first time in our next game. I hope you guys come back for that. That will be a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys for coming here for part 2 of this. This should be a very fun team now, even if we're not going for the pennant in this one. I don't think we're gonna get the AL pennant this year, but I think we'll be able to get it sooner with all these players that we're about to bring into this team right now. So I appreciate you guys for coming to watch Second Level Sports. My name is Steve. Thank you for coming by. If you haven't yet, drop a subscribe. We'll be playing these games all the time, all over the place. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys had fun today. But remember, God made you special, and he loves you very much. See you in the next athletics video.